Hi everyone, this is Mike Gordon, and out of respect for current events involving Bills Safety Damar Hamlin, I decided to mute this episode of Perfect Playthrough. Anyways, for the te- anyways for the 10th game of Christmas, man, menuing here sucks. If you press, you press a button for just one frame and it like double registers. I don't get it. So I'm gonna play as the Denver Broncos in playoff football. There's no actual season mode. There's just season mode. Season mode is really just exhibition games. So really, all I have to do is win playoff mode, and that's it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Honestly, I struggle to comprehend why I would do this, whether or not I should do a multi-parter or how I should go about this. I ultimately decided that due to what happened with Damar Hamlin, if memory serves, from what I've heard, he seems to be improving. So I hope he gets well. So yeah, so if you're wondering why I'm having such a somber and dour expression on my face, this is why. Uh, um, in my voice, I mean. So I ultimately decided to just cram this entire perfect playthrough into a single episode. I knew I was gonna mute. I knew I was going to mute this game because be, out of respect for the Hamlin family, but however, this also opened up the floodgates. See, this game kind of moves at a fairly slow pace, except for the timer. The timer moves pretty fast. The timer moves 40 frames per second in a 60 frame per second game. That's how fast it is. So, other than the opening, I decided to make everything else 2 times speed. So I could cram this entire video in under an hour. Now, my strategy on winning each playoff game as quickly as possible is to just run the ball and dictate time of possession. However, I couldn't fully control how long the opponent had the ball or whether they would throw the ball or catch it or anything like that. Additionally, the New England Patriots here suck. Okay, it's just New England. Uh, EA did not, at the time did not have the NFL or NFLPA license. I don't think any of the major football brands at the time had them. Tecmo's Super Bowl would come out a year later on the NES, so. However, whenever possible, I would try to run the football or make short passes so I could keep the clock running constantly. But I can't control what the opponent does. So I'm just trying to dominate time of possession whenever possible. But the Patriots, for some reason, they're one of the 16 teams they decided to include in this game. I mean, they don't have the Dallas Cowboys, for crying out loud. You would think they would have made room for them, but they were one of the worst teams ever in 1989, and even though this came out relatively late in 1990, like Cyberball came out first. That's a shocker. So, yeah, this is the first game to be based on American football to release on Sega Genesis. However, it is actually Cyberball was the first actual foot. And look how easy I was able to run that down the end zone. I only did it because the Patriots made it so freaking easy. And back then, the Patriots were the worst team in the league by a country mile. They would go on to finish the year 1-15. So why they have, I don't know. Like, they have the Patriots and not the Cowboys. I get they only needed 16 teams. But I would have taken out the Patriots for, I'm trying to figure out, who would I have replaced them with? Not the Jets, because the Giants are represented. Not the Raiders, because the Rams are represented. Actually, the Raiders are also represented, but as the all Madden team. You can only play them in season mode, regular season mode, which again is just an exhibition match. So I digress. I'm trying. The teams that did not make it in were on the AFC side were the Jets, Colts, Browns, Chargers, Raiders, and Seahawks. So the Raiders made it in as the All Madden team, but they're not available in playoff mode. In the NFC, the teams that were left out were the Cowboys, Cardinals, Lions, Packers, Bucks, and in the NFC, the Saints. At West, the Saints. So that's those 6 and 6. Most of those make sense. That even though you would think they would include a legacy team like the Packers, or what's his name? With the Lions, Barry Sanders. It's Barry Sanders, or Green Bay as a legacy team, but I digress. Honestly, if I would have made changes, I would have represented LA with the Raiders, get rid of the Patriots, and then that would open up room for the Cowboys. I just decided onside kick so we would run out the clock. Yeah, I don't see what's going on in the other games. I just want to play and win. I mean, they made room for the Falcons, surprisingly enough. This was a year before their 91 season, where they were arguably the most fun team in the NFC. Oh yeah, my strategy is to run the playtime clock to just 1 second. As I said, the play clock runs at 40 frames per in-game second in a game that runs at 60 frames per second. So count 40 frames and then at the one and then hit and then snap. That's how I do it. That required some meticulous timing, by the way. So, what are my thoughts of John Madden Football? I've actually played this game probably the most of any game I covered so far on Perfect in 12 Games of Christmas. Outside of, Streets of Rage 3, because, I will say, I played quite a bit of Streets of Rage 3. Actually, I wonder if I played more of this game than Streets of Rage 3. Trying to get everything set up. But I digress. Oh yeah, I would like to address why I was absent the past couple days. Really, the Damar Hamlin situations, along with me getting sick, were what ultimately spurred the decision to delay these episodes. So that's been why I haven't been around lately. So I'm just beating this team to a bloody pulp. Just exerting my will upon them. So yeah, that's basically. I don't know what else to say. I just don't know what else to say. The Damar Hamlin situation plus my illness led to a 2 game delay. And I don't know how to address the situation because it would. Number one, I don't think it would have been appropriate for me to put it put it out there on like a subreddit forum or anything like that. But more to the point, I do think it's kind of just. I like to keep it somber. I was more concerned with how people would view a perfect playthrough of this game here and now. With the timing and everything. I did not plan to. I plan to release the intro episode of John Madden Football on January 3rd, 2023. I did not plan to release it specifically to coincide with the Damar Hamlin situation. Nobody plans for a player to. Nobody expects an NFL player to suffer essentially a heart attack in the middle of the field like that. Nobody expects something like that to happen. Nobody plans for it, so that's why I held it off. So, with all that said, well, I think this is honestly a pretty fun game. And I think it gives Streets of Rage 3 a run for its money on how many times I had to play this, just so I don't miss a week and change with all these delays. I'm glad I was able to get this out as quickly as I did. But this is definitely a fun game. Probably my favorite. I definitely prefer this game over Tommy Lasorda Baseball. It's a much simpler and easier to understand game. And it doesn't feel like that the AI is infinitely better than you. Actually, in this case, it feels like the AI is absolute trash. Which makes sense because it's the Patriots. And I recover the fumble, of course. So my objective is to just keep running the football, force the opponent to burn all their timeouts. I don't know why the Patriots are doing this. You've already lost the game. Why even think you even have a sliver of chance? So, yeah. But yeah, I do think this is a fun game. The only games I've covered on Perfect Playthrough that I've played more of are Streets of Rage 3 and Rice Star. And to be fair, I prefer Rice Star, but John Madden Football is an excellent game. I'm trying to think. What else? Alright, yeah, most of the other games are games that I've just played for the very first time. Actually, almost every other game outside of those 2 games are games I've played for the first time. Anyways, I just beat the Patriots. And looks like the Steelers have beat the Bills, so. are beating the Bills. Why am I watching this? Alright. So now I'm beat the Patriots. I'm taking on the Steelers. The Steelers were actually in playoff contention at that time, whereas the Broncos had fallen out. And looky here, we got a snow game. Now, with all out of the way, what do I think will happen with the Bills Bengals game? Really, there's only two possibilities. They will either cancel the game and just make it like a tie for both of them or something. Agree to no contest for both games, but that completely screws up the power rankings in the AFC playoff picture, as it basically gives refs the Chiefs' home field advantage. And it robs the Bengals the chance to possibly compete for home field advantage as well. It robs the Bills a chance. Because let's be honest, I don't see any situation where the Chiefs lose to the Raiders this weekend. I think the Bills will beat the Patriots, but that's kind of hard to tell. They may be so far out of sorts that their mind won't be on the game so much. I don't know. But I think the Bills should be able to beat the Patriots. Bengals. I think the Bengals are gonna beat the Ravens. They're gonna crush the Ravens. But this will basically set them up to play the Ravens again next week on Wild Card Weekend. But honestly, I think if option 2 comes up where they just delay everything by a week and then cancel the Pro Bowl, just do the conference championships and then the Super Bowl a week after. That's happened in the past already. And nobody gives a crap about the Pro Bowl. I'm sorry. Nobody gives a crap about the Pro Bowl. So I think the smart thing would be to just make a makeshift week 19, have Bills Bengals be the season finale. Make that the season finale, and then do the playoffs all in succession. I think that's the best way to go about doing this. So I digress. But I don't think it's it's not an easy answer, but it's the most practical because canceling the game outright will basically say Chiefs, you win home field advantage, or you play through all sorts of mental gymnastics that basically, I don't know, renders the Chiefs' record completely moot. You want to try to be as fair as possible. You want to be to everyone involved. You don't want one team to just win home field advantage because because one game got canceled. You don't want one team to win home field advantage over technicality. You don't want divisions and seedings sorted out like that. But I think that will ultimately come down to whether or not the Bills and Bengals will want to play each other. They're probably going to have to play each other in the playoffs anyways. So rip the Band-Aid. Now, who I think will win the AFC South? I'm going to say the Jaguars. Pure and simple. Titans are completely washed. I don't see any reason to suspect that the Jaguars won't win. Saturday night, actually. Yeah, that's kind of weird. For I think I don't know who will be the 5 or 6 seeds. It would be kind of fun if the Chargers beat the Chiefs in Week 18, thus rendering the whole Bills Bengals thing largely moot. Literally, the only reason to have that is to decide home field advantage. Actually, I would. Actually, that would more than justify. If the Chiefs lose to the Chargers, that would more than justify the Bills Bengals finale, because winner of that game gets home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And if the Bills lose, they will fall to the 2 seed. And if the Bengals win, and if the Bengals lose, they fall to the 3 seed, or even the wild card if the Ravens beat them this week. But I don't think they will. I think the Ravens will be the 6th seed, though. And the 7th seed will be, I don't know. The Patriots suck. I picked them to lose to the Bills, so I don't think they're making it. I think, even considering how bad the quarterback situation is with the New York Jets, I have a hard time seeing the Dolphins reduce their third stringer winning this week. And this is a must-win game for them. Look how I almost scored a touchdown on that kick return. It's from my own personal experience, it's sometimes very difficult to resist just beating the crap out of your opponent, but as time goes on, I sort of temper myself so I could get through this game as quickly as possible. But I don't know. I think the Steelers. I could honestly see the Steelers making the playoffs. But if not, but if everybody loses and the Jets and the Jaguars win, then the Patriots make it in by default. But I don't think it really matters which of the 3 teams or 4 if the Jaguars somehow lose as well. I don't know how any of those 3 teams what relevancy is going to have. They're going to lose to the Chiefs, the Bills, or the Bengals, regardless of who they end up facing. Between those 3 teams, they're going to be one and done. I mean, the Steelers are definitely the best of that lot right now, but that's not saying much. They're a one and done team, like everyone else. And I don't see the Jaguars being the number 7 seed. I think they're going to win that division without, and they're going to win it without a fight from the Titans. And but on the in the NFC side of things, I think right now it's base. All the divisions are basically locked up except, ironically enough, the NFC East. I think if Jalen Ramsey's healthy and the Giants decide not to rest their starters, I could see the Eagles. I could see the stars aligning the Eagles secure home field advantage this weekend, but just as likely we could see the Eagles completely fall apart and the Cowboys beat the Commies and the Cowboys would get the 2 seed and the Niners would ascend to the number 1 seed because I think they're winning tonight against, are they playing the, I think they're playing the Rams tonight. So, ooh, I was wrong. They play the Cardinals. Yeah, the Niners are definitely winning this game, and they'll probably will at the very least secure the number 2 seed. I think the Vikings are going to be locked into the 3 seed no matter what, so that doesn't matter. So I don't care about them. I think the Cowboys are going to smash the Commies, obviously. Bucks are locked into the 4th seed, but no one in their right mind wants to enter the playoffs with a losing record. So I think the Bucks are gonna win. I think the Giants might want to are looking to knock the Eagles off their perch. So I don't think they'll rest their starters, but you never know. It may not matter if Jalen Jalen Hurts is healthy. So really, it just boils down to the seventh seed, which the Seahawks currently own, but the Packers are in a win-in situation. Sadly, I don't think there's much of a shot that the Lions have out making the playoffs because the Seahawks are playing the Rams, and the Rams are terrible this year. In the and keep in mind the Lions need a win and they need the Seahawks to lose because the Seahawks have had to own head to head. And I just do an onside kick. That results in a kick return touchdown. That's fine by me because I get the ball right back after this. So really, I think the seventh seed will be either the Packers or the Seahawks. The Seahawks are the seventh seed, then they're probably a one and done in the playoffs against either the Niners, the or the Cowboys. One of those two teams. But if the what's their name? But if the Packers win, they're in the playoffs no matter what happens to the Seahawks game. But if the Lions beat the Lions might want to knock the Packers out of contention altogether. But the Packers are hot. So I think the Packers are going to win the seventh seed. So let me go through the wild card rounds. Actually, I'm not going to go through all the playoff projections and whatnot because the playoffs aren't seeded. My initial plan was to do this episodically because this game is a little too long to cover under normal circumstances in just one episode. I'm just speeding up the footage because the game's muted. And I muted the games out of respect for Damar Hamlin. The musical score the musical score actually slams though, so do check it out if you're looking into it. That's in spite of the fact that the sound quality isn't the greatest. And here I think I decided to just let the timer run out. Yep, that's game set match. Now I'm playing the Kansas City Chiefs. So my most hated rival at this point in time. Don't worry, don't worry, I'm not gonna beat the crap out of them as they probably deserve to get the crap beat out of them and all that, but yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to exercise some demons against this team. So, who I think will go to the Super Bowl? Right? I think the one thing holding the Niners back is the rookie quarterback. I mean, Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo are lost for the year, so they have no choice to start Brock Purdy. But again, rookie. No rookie quarterback has ever reached the Super Bowl, so I'm basically going against precedent here. So let's say in a bizarro world where the Niners, you know what? I'm trying to think. I think I could see a scenario where it's basically I could see the Eagles getting knocked down to wild card status, the Cowboys get second seed, and the Niners are the one seed. But I'm trying to think. I think I'll probably go. the Super Bowl in the NFC will boil down to the Vikings or the Giants, and no team has made the Super Bowl as a wild card twice. The Chiefs have only done it once in 1969. You got the Cowboys once in 75. The Raiders in 1980. Patriots 85. Bills in 92. Broncos in 97. Titans 99. Ravens 2000. Steelers 2005. Giants 2007. Packers in 2010 and the Bucks in 2020. Those are the only 12 teams, and they're all they've made it to the Super Bowl as a wild card just once apiece. In 56 Super Bowls. So yeah. I think so I'm trying to think who could do, but at the same time, nobody thinks the Vikings are capable of getting it done, and I'm inclined to probably believe that. I'm still struggling to figure out who could do it. I don't have faith in the Cowboys because they're the Cowboys. I don't have faith in the Niners because even though I think right now they're the best team in the NFC because rookie quarterbacks don't make the Super Bowl. They just don't. And let's see. Vikings basically have I think the Vikings might be the best shot. I'm trying to think. I could see maybe the Packers go on a quite the epic run. I mean, the Eagles. I could see the Eagles get one and done against the Bucks because if they fall to but I think it's too early because the seeding still needs to be sorted out. The 4 and 6 seed in the NFC is the only thing that's. But if I'm going to set and just say the best team and just pick the best teams in each conference, I'm going to say Bills and Niners. If I'm going to pick a team matchup that I would like to see, it would be Bills Vikings. I think that would be a good Super Bowl with a ton of storylines to it. Do I think the Chiefs can make the Super Bowl? Yeah, because Patrick Mahomes. I think he's winning the MVP award with the Jalen Hurts situation. I think he's gonna win the MVP award without any contest. But do I think they will win it all? No. And my strategy was just to run the time down, get a playoff right before the 2-minute warning, and I scored a touchdown. So I could activate the 2-minute warning during the kickoff. So definitely a clever little time save I came up with. I think if I were to do it differently, I would have just kicked the field goal instead because that would have saved even more time. But that will be a notice for future reference. What else do I think? Right now, I think it's basically Bills or Bengals in the AFC, and quarterbacks who lose their first trip to the Super Bowl generally don't make it back ever. And especially not the following year. So I'm probably leaning towards the Bills in this regard. But in the NFC, it's kind of a crapshoot. You're going to have a ton. No matter what, I'm going to end up having a ton of weird ass Super Bowl matchups without any precedent. I think the one that will make the most sense is if the Eagles win it secure home field advantage this week, and then the Bills and the Eagles meet in the Super Bowl. And then I think the Bills will win that one. That's what I think will happen. Alright, the Niners crushed the Redskins. Yeah, I'm gonna say Redskins because that's what they were called in 1990. Although in the game, it's just Washington. Yeah, you guys can take your politically corrupt bull crap and shove it where the sun don't shine because this is a free country. And honestly, the commies deserved what they got for or for for kowtowing to the woke mob, among a great many other things. Dan Snyder has what's coming to him. Ron Rivera got what's coming to him. The team has what's coming to him for abandoning Taylor Heineke for not being the greatest athlete imaginable. Like, that would be like the equivalent of going back to Drew Bledsoe instead of keeping Tom Brady. Imagine how much NFL history would have changed if we did that. We could have seen the Rams' gray Sean turf become a dynasty. And the New England and then the Colts basically would take over as this greatest team in the AFC, uncontested. We could see Peyton Manning make a run for perfection in 2007 during their title defense. I'm just burning clock right now. I need to get one more play off. That's fine. Loss of a few yards. And I'm going to employ this tactic in the next game, too. Or just dominate time of possession, just not score at all in one quarter, and score early the next quarter, get the ball back quickly, and just kill the clock, get the ball back quickly the other quarter, so on and so forth. So there. So my picks. So really, I think the most logical pick for a Super Bowl matchup for me would be Bills versus Eagles. I like to also see Chiefs versus Eagles become a thing. That would be interesting. But I think it's going to be. Winner will be one game. Because it's not just because it'd be the Andy Reid Bowl, but the winner of the Chiefs Eagles game would be one game away from securing a dynasty, the next NFL dynasty. And yes, I would count the Eagles in this regard, even though their roster's almost completely different from their 2017 Super Bowl season, because you need 3 wins within a 10-year radius. That's roughly, and that will get you a dynasty. But I think right now it'd be Bills versus Eagles. That's my pick, and I'm picking the Bills to win it all. Two-minute warning. Gonna see if I could get the Chiefs to get into the end zone so I could get the ball back. Gotcha. Now all I have to do is burn a ton of clock out. Burn a ton of clock. because the Chiefs still have a bit of hope left, and I need to get them to burn all their timeouts. So I'm just gonna run. Oh, a short pass to get a first down because I knew that they were going to need to use a timeout. So I'm just gonna get quick snaps. Got first down off of that, and I burned all their timeouts. There's no kneel down in this game, by the way. I decided not to run it into the end zone because 23-7, I think that's plenty. Pays them back for winning 23-7 against the Vikings in Super Bowl IV. But I do speak, and yes, I really want to see Vikings Bills in the Super Bowl. Two of the most cursed and snake bitten teams in the NFL, duking it out to end their pain and suffering once and for all. If you get something like Eagles versus Bills, yeah, you have a shot at the Bills exercising their demons, but you also have a shot at seeing the Bills' legacy of failure continue, to quote Urinane Tree. Oh yeah, I got the Niners in the Super Bowl. A direct rematch of the Super Bowl that came the year before where we lost. Got absolutely destroyed 55-10. I think that's the record for most lopsided win in Super Bowl history. Yeah, that's 45 points. So now I'm getting my revenge against the Niners here. By the way, that's just the default setup when you play Madden 90's regular season mode without changing the roster. You play the Niners as the home team and the Broncos as the away team. That's the only difference. So my strategy is simple. Just run, 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 run. Don't pass the ball unless I absolutely have to. And look how much clock I'm burning. I'm like the 1990 New York Giants, practically just running the football up the gut, not giving my opponent any time to act at all. And that was a nice flex on my part. And I'm going to let the clock run out. And I'm going to resume. There you go. Just run, run, run. Yeah, my Bills have been my start season pick to win it all, and I'm still going to pick them to win. I don't really care if they play the Niners, if they play the Eagles, if they play the Vikings. Although I would prefer if they play the Vikings. 4th and 1, I gotta go for it. The Niners can score at will, so I have to remain ahead at all cost. Yeah, I know it's kind of boring not to have any music in the background, but you know what? I gotta do it. Alright, and now we're at the 2-minute warning. I feel the need to run an extra play. I could burn more time if I waited for the 2-minute warning to roll over. Because I had no intention of scoring. At least not yet. I'm going to end up scoring and giving the ball back to the Niners with a minute left to play. A minute change, anyways. That's alright, I just have to play prevent and they won't have much time to do anything. The John Madden games are basically just simulation football, not arcade style. Though this game is a little bit arcadey. But I digress. It's actually only the first Madden release on the Genesis on console. The first Madden game release period was actually on Apple II computers a couple years earlier. That game sucked, so I'm not gonna play that game. But it was an important piece of video game history. It's just everything is so freaking slow. At least the Giants have the At least the Genesis has the processing power to run a game like this with 11 players on each side of the ball. Clock's practically synced up, so I just need to stall these Niners out. And I got the turnover on down, so I'm just gonna do one last play, and that should do it. But don't worry, I'll give the ball right back with a squib kick. And I'm gonna let them score, and they are never seeing the ball again after this. Take a look at this right here. This is the last time they get the ball for the rest of this game. The rest of the time I'm just going to run it up the gut, maybe one or two pass plays, but that's it. And keep in mind, this is kind of a misuse of the Broncos, because you're supposed to be slinging the ball down the field. You're not. This ain't the Terrell Davis Broncos at all. This is the John Elway carrying his team everywhere he goes type of Denver Broncos. Meaning great quarterback play, not the best receivers, almost no running game. However, the running game suits its purpose for me well here. Because I'm not trying to gain a crap load of yards, I'm trying to run the clock out. Because the best part is, in the case of a tie, the Niners will not be using any of their timeouts in the fourth quarter. So just watch this. I'm going to convert on fourth. It's going to be just barely. And there we go. Let me sort all this out. I decided to just get one last play out because it doesn't matter so long as it's past the 45-second mark. I'm just going to let the clock run out to end the third quarter. It's 3rd and 5 with 5 minutes left to go before we win the Super Bowl. And it's 7-all. 7-all. So let me just say this. While going through the audio files, I just realized that yes, Damar Hamlin is going to be fit as a fiddle, hopefully soon. He's going to get better. He's not going to die, and there doesn't appear to be any signs of brain damage or brain or neurological damage. So hopefully hopefully his motor skills will be right as rain. So, all that is great news, Damar Hamlin. You don't want to see somebody die on the field. It's only happened once, a long time ago. I believe it was a Detroit Lions player that died on the field. He wasn't supposed to be out there, but hid his medical condition from everyone. Which was when everyone in the NFL started to take the whole health thing seriously. That was when it started. I know we like to credit the CTE discovery as the point where he started taking it seriously, but it started way back in the 70s when that player died. Lots of players like faking injuries or pretending they don't have them. They still do. They still do that, but it's not as common practice. Alright, so it's 3rd and 12, so I absolutely need to convert this play right here and now. Obviously, I'm going to do it. Oh, no, not yet. It's 4th and 2. But if I convert this play, I just need to get a quick snap out, and now we're at 1st and 7th. We just need to kick the field goal, and that will do it. Of course, we need to wait till the clock runs down close to like just 1 second. And it's good. We have won the Super Bowl. If you like what you see here, leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. With all out of the way, this is Mike Gordon, sign out.